The Congress Plaza Hotel in Illinois stands like a silent witness to Chicago's darkest whispers, its grand walls hiding stories that refuse to fade. Imagine walking through its long, dim corridors late at night, when the city outside sleeps, and only the hotel's old heart keeps beating. The carpet beneath your feet muffles your steps, yet you feel as if someone, or something, walks beside you. Guests often say the air here feels heavy, as if memories themselves are alive. Some speak of jinn, like spirits lingering between worlds, unseen but always watching. In certain rooms, doors slam suddenly, not from the wind, but from an unseen force that seems to demand attention. The echoes travel through the hallways, creating a chain of fear that stretches from one room to another, as if the hotel itself is passing a secret message through time. Late at night, screams have been reported, distant, hollow, and filled with pain. Staff members claim these cries come from empty rooms, rooms where no one checked in, rooms that should be silent. Some believe these are the voices of restless ghosts, souls trapped in continuity, replaying their suffering over and over again, unable to break free. Others whisper that jinn walk these halls, drawn to the sorrow and fear that soaked into the building for decades. Shadow figures have been seen standing at the end of hallways, motionless and silent. When someone approaches, they vanish into the walls, leaving behind a chilling emptiness. Guests describe feeling a presence sitting on their beds, watching them sleep, breathing near their ears, creating a suspense that keeps them frozen until morning light returns. There are stories of mirrors reflecting shapes that don't belong to the person standing before them. Some say they see pale faces staring back, eyes filled with secrets, while others feel invisible hands brushing their shoulders. The past and present seem connected here, forming an unbroken chain of mystery, a continuity of fear that never truly ends. The Congress Plaza Hotel is not just a place to stay, it is a place where stories breathe, where spirits roam, where jinn and ghosts blur the line between reality and the unseen. And as you walk through its halls, you may realize that the hotel is not watching you alone. Something else is too. The Congress Plaza Hotel is believed to be haunted by multiple spirits and ghostly entities, and this belief has grown stronger with every passing year. As more guests and staff add their own chilling experiences to its long and unsettling history, the building itself feels like a living memory, holding on to every emotion, every tragedy, every whispered story that ever touched its walls. When night falls, the hotel seems to awaken, and a deep suspense settles over its corridors, as if unseen eyes are following every movement. Many believe that the spirits here are not just random ghosts, but souls tied to the hotel through a strange continuity, trapped in a loop where the past refuses to release them. Some say these are the ghosts of former guests who never truly left, while others whisper about hotel workers who passed away and still perform their duties in the shadows. There are stories of bellhops seen walking down hallways, only to disappear when someone calls out to them, and maids heard cleaning rooms that are completely empty. The continuity of these sightings makes the hotel feel like a place where time has fractured, allowing the living and the dead to exist side by side. Others speak of jinn, like spirits inhabiting the hotel, unseen beings drawn to the emotional energy that has gathered here over more than a century. These jinn are said to move silently through rooms, influencing the environment in subtle ways, creating cold spots, flickering lights, and sudden feelings of dread. Guests sometimes describe a pressure in their chests, as if an invisible presence is standing too close. Watching, waiting. This creates a suspense so intense that even the bravest visitors find themselves sleeping with the lights on, afraid to close their eyes. There are rooms rumored to be especially active, where multiple spirits are said to gather. In these rooms, people report hearing footsteps pacing all night, whispers that seem to form words, and laughter that fades into silence. Some guests claim they felt someone sit beside them on the bed, only to find no one there. Others say they saw a figure standing in the corner of the room, its shape blurred, its presence undeniable. These experiences continue from generation to generation, creating an unbroken chain of haunted testimonies that strengthens the hotel's reputation as one of the most haunted places in Chicago. The ghosts of the Congress Plaza Hotel are often described as intelligent, aware, and sometimes even playful or hostile. Doors are said to open and close on their own, objects move without explanation, and personal items vanish, only to reappear in strange places. Some visitors believe these spirits are trying to communicate, to tell their stories, while others feel they are simply replaying fragments of their past, trapped in a cycle of memory and emotion. The suspense of not knowing what they want, or if they even notice the living, creates an atmosphere that is both terrifying and fascinating. The presence of multiple spirits gives the hotel a layered haunting, where different entities seem to occupy different spaces, each with their own history and energy. This continuity of supernatural activity has turned the Congress Plaza Hotel into a legendary location for paranormal investigators and thrill seekers. Yet even those who doubt the supernatural often admit that something about the hotel feels different, as if the walls themselves are alive with unseen movement. And as you walk through the lobby late at night, hearing distant footsteps and feeling a sudden chill, you may begin to wonder if the spirits, the jinn, and the ghosts of the Congress Plaza Hotel are not just stories, but silent residents who never checked out. Guests report screams, doors slamming, and strange unexplained noises inside the Congress Plaza Hotel. And these accounts have formed one of the most disturbing chapters of its haunting legend. The sounds are not random. They follow a strange continuity, repeating night after night, year after year, as if the building itself is replaying an endless echo of fear. When the lights dim and the hallways grow quiet, the hotel transforms into a stage where invisible beings perform their restless drama. One of the most chilling reports is of sudden screams echoing through the corridors. These are not the sounds of ordinary guests or city noise from outside, but distant, hollow cries that seem to rise from within the walls. Some say the screams come from upper floors, where no one is staying, while others claim they heard them directly outside their doors, only to open them and find an empty hallway. The suspense of hearing a human, like cry in complete silence, is enough to freeze the blood, making listeners feel as though they are being pulled into a living nightmare. Doors slamming on their own are another terrifying phenomenon. Guests often describe waking up in the middle of the night to the sound of doors crashing shut, sometimes with such force that it feels like someone is trying to break in. Yet when they check, there is no one there. Some doors are found locked from the inside, others wide open, as if an unseen hand is moving through the hotel with purpose. Paranormal believers say these are signs of intelligent ghosts, spirits who want to announce their presence, while others whisper that jinn roam these hallways, testing the boundaries between their world and ours. Footsteps are also frequently reported, slow, deliberate footsteps walking above ceilings, in hallways, or even inside rooms where no one is staying. Guests lying awake at night describe hearing someone pacing back and forth, stopping outside their door, and then continuing down the hall. This creates a continuity of fear, where the mind imagines an unseen watcher following every move. Some say the footsteps belong to spirits of former guests and staff who still walk their familiar routes, unaware that their time has passed. Whispers and faint voices add another layer of terror. People have reported hearing their names spoken softly, as if someone is standing right beside them. Others hear conversations in empty rooms, laughter, or crying that fades when they investigate. These sounds are often linked to jinn-like entities, believed to communicate in subtle ways, leaving humans unsure whether what they heard was real or imagined. The uncertainty itself becomes a form of suspense, trapping the listener in a psychological web of fear. There are also reports of objects moving, knocking sounds on walls, and the sound of furniture being dragged across floors. Guests say they hear knocking patterns that feel intentional, as if someone or something is trying to respond to their presence. Some paranormal investigators believe these noises are a form of communication, a continuity of interaction between the living and the unseen. What makes these sounds even more disturbing is that they do not happen once or twice. They repeat across decades, shared by countless witnesses who never met each other. This repetition creates a haunting rhythm, a pattern that suggests intelligence and purpose rather than coincidence. The Congress Plaza Hotel becomes not just a building, but a living echo chamber of spirits, jinn, and ghosts, all expressing themselves through sound. And when you imagine lying in one of its rooms, listening to screams in the distance, doors slamming down the hall, and footsteps stopping outside your door, you begin to feel that the hotel is not silent at all. It is speaking in the language of the unseen, inviting you deeper into its endless suspense. Shadow figures and ghostly apparitions have been seen in the Congress Plaza Hotel, and these sightings are among the most terrifying experiences reported by guests and staff. These are not just vague feelings or distant sounds, but visual encounters that leave people shaken, questioning reality itself. When someone sees a shadow move where no shadow should exist, the mind struggles to understand it, and suspense takes control of every thought. Many guests describe seeing dark human-like shapes standing at the end of hallways, near staircases, or inside their rooms. These shadow figures often appear tall and silent, without clear facial features. Yet their presence feels intensely real. People say they feel watched, as if these entities are aware of them, observing every movement. When someone blinks or turns on the lights, the shadow sometimes disappears, but the feeling of being watched does not leave. This creates a continuity of fear that follows the person long after the moment has passed. Some witnesses report full apparitions, ghostly figures that look almost human. These apparitions are described as pale, transparent, and dressed in old-fashioned clothing, as if they belong to another era. A guest once claimed to see a woman standing near the window, staring out into the city, only to vanish when approached. Others speak of a man seen walking through a wall, or a childlike figure running down the corridor and disappearing around a corner that leads to nowhere. These stories repeat across time, forming a chain of continuity that makes the hotel feel like a bridge between past and present. Paranormal believers suggest that these shadow figures and apparitions may not all be ghosts of the dead. Some believe jinn-like spirits inhabit the hotel, manifesting as shadows because they do not fully belong to the human world. These jinn are said to exist in a parallel reality, crossing into ours when conditions are right, late at night, in quiet spaces, or where strong emotions have accumulated. When guests see shadows moving on their own, they believe these are jinn observing humans, curious or disturbed by the living presence in their domain. There are reports of shadows sitting on chairs, standing near beds, or appearing in mirrors. A guest once described seeing a dark figure standing behind them in the mirror, only to turn around and find nothing there. Others claim their shadows moved independently, stretching in unnatural ways on the walls, creating a suspense that makes even simple reflections feel dangerous. Some say the shadows follow them from room to room, appearing briefly, then fading as if playing a silent game of hide and seek. Hotel staff have their own stories. Security guards mention seeing figures on cameras that vanish when they investigate in person. Housekeepers report seeing someone standing in a room they are about to clean, only to find the room empty when they enter. These repeated encounters build a continuity of haunted experiences that pass from one generation of workers to the next, becoming part of the hotel's dark folklore. The most unsettling aspect is how these shadow figures sometimes interact with the environment. Guests report feeling a presence standing very close, casting a shadow that does not match any person in the room. Some say they saw a shadow hand reaching toward them, or a silhouette moving across the ceiling. The line between imagination and reality becomes blurred, and the suspense grows stronger with every unexplained movement. These ghostly apparitions and shadow entities transform the Congress Plaza Hotel into a place where the unseen feels dangerously close. Every dark corner, every reflection, every flicker of movement becomes a potential sign of spirits or jinn watching from the other side. And once you know these stories, walking through the hotel's corridors feels like stepping into a world where shadows are not empty, and ghosts are never truly gone. Some believe that jinn-like spirits inhabit the Congress Plaza Hotel, drawn to its long history, emotional energy, and the countless stories of sorrow and fear that have unfolded within its walls. This belief adds another layer of mystery, blending ancient spiritual lore with modern ghost stories, and creating a powerful suspense that captures the imagination of anyone who hears it. According to paranormal researchers and spiritual believers, jinn are beings that exist alongside humans, unseen but aware, living in a realm that touches ours in subtle ways. Places filled with intense emotions, such as old hotels, battlefields, and sites of tragedy, are said to attract them. The Congress Plaza Hotel, with its decades of human stories, is believed by some to be a perfect gathering place for such entities. They say the jinn are not necessarily evil, but unpredictable, curious, and sometimes disturbed by human presence. Guests have reported feeling a sudden heaviness in certain rooms, as if the air itself has changed. Some describe a pressure on their chest, difficulty breathing, or a strong feeling that someone is standing behind them. These sensations are often linked to jinn encounters in folklore, where the presence of such spirits is felt before it is seen. This creates an intense suspense, where the mind imagines an unseen entity watching, listening, and reacting to every movement. There are stories of guests waking up in the middle of the night unable to move, feeling as if an invisible force is holding them down. In many cultures, this is associated with jinn or spirit encounters, and those who experienced it in the Congress Plaza Hotel describe seeing shadowy shapes near their beds, whispering voices, or flickering figures in the darkness. These experiences form a continuity of fear, passed from one witness to another, across different years and different rooms, yet eerily similar in detail. Some believe that jinn manifest differently from ghosts. While ghosts are thought to be spirits of the dead, jinn are believed to be independent beings who never lived as humans. In the hotel, witnesses describe shadows that move too quickly, shapes that shift and change, and presences that feel intelligent but not human. These entities are said to watch guests from corners, follow them through hallways, and sometimes interact with objects, moving items, opening doors, or creating strange sounds. The mixture of ghost stories and jinn lore creates a haunting continuity, where multiple unseen beings seem to coexist within the same space. There are also tales of jinn appearing in dreams. Some guests claim they had vivid nightmares after staying in certain rooms, dreaming of dark figures, burning eyes, and voices calling their names. They wake up feeling as if something has entered their mind, leaving behind fear and confusion. These stories add to the hotel's reputation as a place where the boundary between the physical and spiritual worlds feels dangerously thin. Hotel workers have shared stories of sensing presences that feel different from ordinary ghosts. They describe moments when the atmosphere changes suddenly, when the air becomes cold and silent, and when they feel a presence that does not behave like a human spirit. Some guards and cleaners refuse to work alone at night, believing that jinn walk the halls when the hotel is quiet, moving through walls, ceilings, and empty rooms without being seen. The idea that jinn coexist with ghosts in the Congress Plaza Hotel creates a powerful narrative of layered hauntings. Ghosts may be the echoes of human lives, trapped in continuity, repeating their past, while jinn are seen as ancient watchers, drawn to the emotional energy of the place. Together, they form a complex web of unseen residents, each with their own purpose and presence. When someone walks through the hotel late at night, hearing footsteps, feeling sudden chills, and sensing eyes in the darkness, they may not know whether they are being watched by a ghost, a jinn, or something else entirely. This uncertainty deepens the suspense, turning every shadow into a question and every silence into a warning, and making the Congress Plaza Hotel feel like a place where the unseen is always near, always aware, and never truly gone. The haunting stories of the Congress Plaza Hotel continue through time, creating a chilling continuity that feels unbroken, as if the past and present are stitched together by invisible hands. Every generation of guests, staff, and paranormal investigators adds new testimonies, and instead of fading, the legends grow stronger, feeding the suspense that surrounds the hotel like a living shadow. The building is not just remembered as haunted, It is experienced as haunted again and again, in a repeating cycle that refuses to end. Visitors arrive with curiosity, often skeptical. But many leave with stories they never expected to tell. A guest might hear footsteps following them down a hallway, only to find no one behind them. Another might see a shadow pass their doorway, then feel a sudden cold breath on their neck. These moments link them to countless others who experienced the same thing years before, creating a continuity of fear that stretches across decades. It feels as if the hotel itself remembers, and each new witness becomes part of its endless narrative. Paranormal investigators have visited the Congress Plaza Hotel with cameras, recorders, and sensors, hoping to capture evidence of ghosts and jinn. Some claim to record voices that do not belong to anyone present, whispers speaking in unknown languages, or sounds that resemble distant crying. Others say their equipment reacts in certain rooms, showing spikes in temperature changes and electromagnetic readings. These findings are shared online and in documentaries, extending the continuity of the hotel's legend to millions of people who have never even stepped inside. The suspense spreads beyond the building, traveling through stories, videos, and whispered warnings. The idea that multiple spirits inhabit the hotel adds to its layered haunting. Ghosts of former guests, echoes of staff, and unseen jinn are believed to coexist, each moving through the hotel in their own way. Some spirits are said to repeat actions from their past, walking the same routes, standing in the same places, appearing in the same mirrors. Jinn, on the other hand, are believed to move freely, observing humans, sometimes interacting, sometimes simply watching from the darkness. This mixture of entities creates a continuous atmosphere of the supernatural, where no single explanation feels complete, and every theory opens the door to more mystery. Stories of the Congress Plaza Hotel are passed down like modern legends. A staff member tells a new employee about the shadow figure on the upper floor. A guest tells friends about the screams heard at night. A paranormal blogger writes about strange recordings captured in a locked room. Each story connects to the next, forming an unbroken chain of testimony that keeps the hotel's haunted reputation alive. This continuity ensures that the suspense never fades, because every new listener imagines themselves walking those same halls, hearing those same sounds, seeing those same shadows. Some visitors return again and again, drawn by the thrill, hoping to experience something supernatural. They book the same rooms, walk the same corridors, and wait in silence for a sign. When something happens, a door moves, a voice whispers, a shadow appears. They feel they have touched the unseen. Their experiences become part of the hotel's ongoing story, strengthening the belief that the Congress Plaza Hotel is a gateway between worlds, a place where ghosts and jinn continue to exist alongside the living. Even those who never witness anything strange often say the atmosphere feels different, heavy, as if the walls are listening. The long hallways, the old architecture, and the quiet nights create a sense of anticipation, where every sound could be something more. The mind becomes trapped in suspense, imagining what might be just out of sight. The haunting of the Congress Plaza Hotel does not belong to one moment in time. It is a continuous story, written by countless witnesses, shaped by whispers of ghosts and jinn, and carried forward by fear, curiosity, and imagination. Each new guest becomes part of that story the moment they step inside, And whether they believe or not, the hotel's legend continues, growing stronger with every passing night, every unexplained sound, every shadow that moves when no one is watching. And so, the Congress Plaza Hotel remains standing, just as it has for more than a century, its walls filled with memories, its corridors echoing with footsteps from another time, its rooms holding secrets that history itself refuses to erase. While the city of Chicago continues to grow and change, this hotel carries the weight of the past, preserving moments of fear, sorrow, and mystery in an unbroken continuity that links generations together. From early 20th century guests to modern-day visitors, the same whispers, shadows, and unexplained presences continue to be reported, as if time has stopped inside these walls. Perhaps the ghosts are memories that never faded. Perhaps the jinn are ancient watchers drawn to human emotion. Or perhaps the hotel itself has become a living archive of fear, repeating history in silence. Whatever the truth is, the Congress Plaza Hotel stands as a historical monument not only to luxury and architecture, but to the unknown, reminding us that some places never forget. If you enjoyed this haunting journey into history, mystery, and the unseen world, make sure to share this story with others who love suspense and paranormal legends. Subscribe for more true horror histories, haunted locations, and chilling tales that will keep you questioning reality. And tell us in the comments, would you dare to stay a night in the Congress Plaza Hotel, knowing that something might be watching you from the shadows?